Hey guys, you're watching Explore the Weird. If you're into creepy and weird, YouTube thinks you are, so consider joining the Ganja Goons gang by hitting that subscribe and make sure you smoke that like button. Let's get right into it.
120,000 feet. That's about 20 miles. And the Earth is below us. Now, the Earth is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour below us. But when this balloon came down 3 hours later, it landed very, very close to where it took off. So how is that even possible? So this is reality, demonstrable reality with a small local sun and a stationary Earth. This is just up on a balloon spinning, swinging around. So the heliocentric model, which is the globe model, says that we're on a ball spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So when you're watching a sunset or a moonset in Alaska, you have to believe that you're falling over backwards and the moon and the sun are just appearing to go down because you're falling over backwards on a ball. That's the heliocentric model. We're also orbiting around the sun in an elliptical orbit, speeding up and slowing down, with an average speed of 66,600 miles an hour. That's a funny number that shows up a lot in the heliocentric system. We're also chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour. Let me put that into context for you. Anybody can do this. Go on YouTube, look up the hypersonic sled track. And this is a rocket sled that you can't even see it and it goes by. And the sound is shocking when you see it. And that's Mach 8.6. That means 8.6 times the speed of sound. Okay? Here it comes again. You can't even see it. You can't fathom what twice that speed is. Okay? But if you believe that you live on a ball, you have to believe that this giant rocky ball that's surrounded with water, that's surrounded with air, with nothing to contain it from the vacuum, the void, the no pressure of space, is going 10 times this speed around the sun and 100 times this speed chasing the sun. But when we go out into nature, we see things like this. Now, this is water at rest. Large bodies of water at rest scientifically prove that the Earth is flat. They lie flat. There is no curved water at rest. Now, any large body, a drop of water, yes, it has surface tension. But anything bigger than a gallon of water at rest lies flat. Water needs containment, right? If you have a bathtub and the side of the tub is missing, the water's gone. If you had a pond and one side of the pond was missing, the water's gone. A lake is a bigger pond. The world's oceans are a bigger lake. Okay? So what do I mean by that? The flat Earth is simply this. Here's our water. It's contained. All of the continents are all of the islands. Just call them islands. The North Pole is right at the center. And the shoreline, which is the highest land on Earth. Did you know that Antarctica is the highest land on Earth? They don't teach you that in school. Okay? Is the containment of our pond. Period. Nobody is allowed to independently explore beyond 60 degrees south, right? They want us to believe that Antarctica is a continent at the bottom of a ball around 12,000 miles in circumference, but no one's ever been able to circumnavigate it. The last person that tried was Captain Cook. He took him 3.5 years and he went over 68,000 miles. The equator is only 24,000. How did he go 68,000 miles? Okay. But when you look, the equator is about halfway from the center here. So that's 24,000. So this makes sense, 60, 70,000 miles around, right? What's out here in the outer space? We can speculate all day, but we don't need that to prove that the Earth is flat. The Earth is scientifically provably non-rotating. Every experiment for axial rotation of the Earth.
Nope. Not YouTube. Reels, Facebook doesn't want to load. Dude, I do not want to restart this from this position. This is so crazy. Even all the things that this guy has said is just wild. One of the points that I think is kind of interesting, and I've heard this said with like toilet water. They're like, hey, why is your toilet water still? Right? If we're on a ball and we're moving, shouldn't that be moving? That's how I know the world is flat. That's kind of like what this sounds like with the lake analogy here. So my main takeaway is I kind of do agree with him that when it comes to this flat Earth theory. It's not really a flat Earth theory. It's more of like a biome, or like we're surrounded or encapsulated in something. I can kind of agree with that, because I've seen that in old scriptures, so that idea had to come from somewhere, and I think that's what he's hitting on. So this David Weiss, I think that's his name. I like this portrayal of the flat Earth theory. I definitely see one of the points being, why aren't we feeling all this breeze? Why is all this water staying still? And it is an interesting theory, and we'll see if it ever comes to reality.
I think Post Malone knows something that we don't.
According to the CIA, the total amount of fraud money is $80 trillion.
And cash was $2 trillion.
2 trillion.
So 1.9 trillion is actual cash, and all the rest of it is just bull. Doesn't exist. There's not a vault you can go in like a fucking guy.
Imagine we're at war with a country, and then they have the best hackers, or whatever. This is all hypothetical, but you go to swipe your card and it doesn't work, and then everybody in America goes to swipe their card
and it doesn't work.
Whenever the credit cards fail, whenever your cards fail, whenever your banks fail, and you can't use your fucking card anymore, you have 3 days to get out of where you are, because that's when they're coming for you. That's the big move. That's checkmate right there. And they think they have you. But move out to the country, get your scraps, stand up for yourself, build a tower, build a long road to where you can see them coming. Don't give up. America.
I think Post Malone knows something.
Wait, so who are these people that are coming? And why are they trying to come? Like, just because I can't access my money? It definitely sounds like Post Malone knows something that I do not know, and I like this guy's music, so this is so interesting. So one of the main takeaways with credit cards is credit cards are already limiting, right? The whole concept of you have full access to your money is a digital concept. Digitally, meaning if you're doing online banking, you're paying bills online, you have full access to that money. But when it comes to the physical access of that money, so let's say you have $100,000 in your banking, in your bank, right? Well, are you going to be able to walk into your bank, take out 100,000 and just like go on your merry way? No, most of the time there are limits that bank has. They can only move $15,000 a day, or some sort of way that they are limited with the amount of physical money that bank can possess. So when you come in with an order of 100,000, it is very rare you'll get that on the day you go to the bank. So there are limitations already when it comes to actual physical fiat currency. Now, knowing that, he's saying like, what was like only 1.9 and the rest is digital, like it makes you wonder, what happens, as he says, these hackers get in, they shut you down, all that digital money is gone. Hey, maybe this is what we need to look out for. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, lend me your ear. For educational and entertainment purposes only.
Oh, it gets worse. Like, way worse, man. No one's listening, though. So it's like, okay, I'm going to watch you guys play out this hell on earth. Okay, cool. So have you looked into U.S. patent number 20170229149A1? And that's system and method for using biometric and displaying biometric data. And that's for Richard A. Rothschild, Netherlands, October 13th, 2015. They had these things ready for us. They knew they could lead us right into the slaughter, yeah? There's also U.S. patent number 2020-0279585. And this is system and method for testing Cuckoo 19, 2017 to 2020. And in the patent, you should note how the smartphone can be useful in this regard because you're hooked up to the physical technology like your smartphone. These things are weapons, right? Have you read Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars yet, right? Have you read the NASA war documents that tell us we're all going to be hooked up to this AI system, hive mind, right? And people think I'm joking. No.
Yeah, lend me your ear. for educational and entertainment purposes only.
I am just mind boggled. So she's either hinting that this patent has some like data that they can take out of you, so in like what is she trying to say, vaccine form, that basically a vaccine derivative or some type of bio integration with your cell phone lets you see this data. Why would this even happen? I guess it's just a patent. Like maybe sometime in the future they can expand on it, but people just patent things so other people don't steal their ideas, and if they want to use it, they can get money out of it. So maybe they just did one of those crazy things. But the Cuckoo 19 thing, like that was definitely weird. Like why Cuckoo 19? And the timing, 2017 to 2019 too. It's like, something else must have been going on over there. That don't add up.
8 said he was sad the trees didn't talk to him anymore. He told me that when he was younger, the trees would talk to him about nature and how trees take care of each other like a family. And then this person responded, "This is true science and not commonly known. Trees can pass nutrients through roots, and there's an underground network system in the forest." I mean, how much better would life be if we could all talk to trees? I asked my daughter what happens when you die when she was young, and she said, "If we don't get it right, then we come back until we do." Truth. My daughter randomly called her grandparents Ya and Papu. We thought it was just babbling, but it turns out it's Greek for grandma and grandpa. There's some stories of kids just knowing foreign languages. I would ask my 3-year-old a question, and he would say, "Don't ask me, I'm just a meatball." It's not reality bending, but that's pretty funny. Unless he was a meatball in a past life. My daughter pointed to a picture of my deceased grandmother and said, "She played with me in heaven while I was waiting to be born." My son asked me a few days ago, "Hey Daddy, how come when I travel back in people's timelines they can't see me or hear me?" What? My niece used to space out and come back and say, "Mother, Willie says it's okay. She's okay now," and started playing. Our grandma Willie died of cancer. Just spacing out talking to spirits. I love how it seems like kids are just tuned into this larger reality. And I would love to hear more. If your kid has said something reality bending, share it in the comments. And hit that follow for the next part. 8.
Wow. I mean, the trees thing with the network and the roots, that's basically what the underground delivery system for all trees and plants. So yeah, I like that. Definitely makes sense. But almost all the stories, I love this guy and the kid ones he does. Michael Armstrong, great content here. But the takeaways is like these kids are basically all saying a similar pattern. There is something or a space of some sort before they came to existence in our current reality that they came from, where they have interacted potentially in the same chain, in that same family tree. So if you believe in the reincarnation, this is definitely up there for things that are weird.
The people in Egypt, they believed in what's called Kemet, the people that existed before the Egyptians. When we hear these stories about the Great Pyramid being a tomb for the pharaoh, it's worth mentioning that even the locals didn't believe that. The saying that the pyramids were built to be tombs for the pharaohs wasn't even developed until 150 years ago. That's it. They were taught Kemet. And it's worth mentioning that when you go through inside these pyramids of Giza, there's not one single glyph in any of them whatsoever. There was never a mummy found in any Egyptian pyramid ever. Quite literally, the only reason why we are told this stuff is because that was the theory developed by these men that went in there and said, "I believe these must have been for the pharaohs. That makes sense."
So it's all just one group of people had one theory, and that theory just stuck around.
100%. The people in Egypt.
That is crazy. That is crazy. And I've been watching a lot of documentaries about Egypt as well. It is very hard to explain why those pyramids existed in the first place. And one of my theories that I now go towards, I lean towards this theory, is the pyramids could have been some type of power incubator or some type of transmitter where it would transmit to different obelisks around the world and give continuous power, similar to what Nikola Tesla and his inventions would have done. and maybe the pyramids was an early version of that. We see these obelisks and pyramids over and over again, and as this person has said, the main takeaway is there were never any indicators to say that the reason the pyramids were built were for the pharaoh's bodies. So if there is a greater reason for it, then you start wondering, what is the real purpose of the pyramid? And people even say that almost all the chambers in the pyramid have different materials, as I said, that can make battery components. So quite interesting, definitely weird.
So you know when you like share stuff online and then you inevitably get comments of people calling you a crazy conspiracy theorist, that it's not possible that the government could do such a thing? And sometimes just in my leisure reading, I like to read U.S. patents, don't you? So if you just go to the deep state machine that we call Google, just look up U.S. patent number 6470214. Oh, what do you know? Directed energy weapon, targeted individual patents. From the year 2000, pulsative manipulation of central nervous system. Published in 2002, method and device for producing a desired brain state via magnetic waves. And this fun one from 2013 has 4 different assignees. Controls brain state by placing engineered EMF patterns into the AC wiring of a building. And from 2014, induced desired brain state in person by adding waves into a music file. And from the year 2000, induces desired emotional state through an EMF, sleeplessness, sexual arousal. 2015 monitors vital signs of subject via remote application of radar waves, handheld.
Yep.
So you know when you...
Yep, I like that. Completely scary because not only... I think the previous patent video was like the lady was talking about something that would be implanted and then be connected to a cell phone. This guy, there is no good. This is existing tech. Sound you put in your headphones, you're having these types of emotional feelings. That's crazy. And then even like, oh my God, just everything. All the patents just have that common sense of, or they're making these for a reason. What is that reason? Or what are they trying to do with the human body? What is this? What is the end goal of being able to manipulate humans? You know, whether it's through sound, feeling, environment, AC unit manipulation. What is the end goal? What are they trying to do? Is that going to better me in any way, shape, or form? But why'd you write it down in the patent? Are you trying to prevent someone else not to do it? You know, like that's what I want. You know, it's like, hey, if you do want to do it, I came up with the idea first, so you're gonna have to give me billions of dollars. Oh my God, it makes you wonder.
He predicted 3 world wars. The First World War, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. He's now thinking about this Third World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. He predicted.
This is crazy. This is crazy because these predictions are potentially happening as we speak, especially with the Israel-Palestine conflict that is happening. Regardless of your political views, the predictions that Albert Pike made back when he died in 1891, so these predictions well before our current timeline, he already predicted the First War, the Second War, and the potential Third War. in my eyes. I hope it is not something I have to deal with in my timeline. But if we do have to, hopefully it's not a world-ending war, and we can continue past once they mutually do whatever they need to in order to annihilate them. No, wait, not annihilate. In order to neutral. Oh my God, there is no good word. In order to come to, you can't even say peace. So, yeah, something's got to happen. All right, I don't even know what the right thing is that needs to happen over there, but it's definitely not something that I think any country can solve by itself. I think we're gonna need multiple countries to come to the aid, or we just stay hands off, let them deal with their thing. It's not my mess, don't even give them anything, just that's it. Fight it out, you're in the ring, see ya. But it's not a win-win for anybody. It's World War III could be a whole different reason. Let's see what ends up happening. Let me continue on here.
Did you know that not everyone in this photo is alive? In the 1800s, photography was very expensive, and most children did not have their photo taken. It was common for children to die very young, so postmortem photography became very popular. It helped preserve memories of those that died and allowed families to have photos of their children even after they were gone. Children were posed as if in a peaceful slumber or propped up in chairs. Children were either alone or posed with parents or siblings. While a lot of children were sleeping, others had their eyes painted on after the photograph was taken. The backgrounds were decorated with flowers, clocks, or the person's favorite. While it was done for anyone of any age, it was very popular for children. While it seems weird and creepy in today's standards, it was a way to comfort grieving families and keep a token of their children forever.
Oh my God. It's definitely a nice memoriam. I'm sure back in that time, imagine they do this now. Imagine, dude, this would be talked about everywhere. Oh my God. All right, let's do one more.
Places I'd go in Los Angeles if I had friends. Beetle House, it's a Beetlejuice restaurant, and a bunch of other Tim Burton characters are there. They have shows with all the characters, and yummy potion drink, and themed food like this Edward Scissorhands steak with some blood stuff on it. Echo Park Time Travel Mart, it has everything you need to time travel. They also sell things from other times and dimensions, like dinosaur eggs, and mammoth meat, leeches, delicious primordial soup, and robot milk. The Magic Castle, or the Academy of Magical Arts. This is the best place in the whole entire world. It's a super secret magician's club inside of a Harry Potter castle. You have to be invited by a member or a magician. Every room has different magic shows, even the dungeons, and you come in through this secret library door. Hollywood Museum of Death. Although they say this museum is not to scare you, it's only to learn about death. It's supposed to be super extreme, even for horror fans. They have autopsies and serial killer art, the Heaven's Gate recruiting video and real death footage. Corporate head statue, very relatable. It's in the financial district in front of accounting buildings where people have insane hours. Blind barber, you go in through a secret door in a barber shop, and then you've been punked because you're now in a speakeasy. No vacancy, the exterior looks like a random house, and the interior looks like a random house, but it's not. It's another speakeasy. The Last Bookstore, it's Book Paradise. It used to be a bank, and there's an occult section inside the vault. Psychiatry and Industry of Death. It's a psychiatry museum. It covers topics like mind control and weapons of mass destruction. 2-Bit Circus, it's a micro amusement park. It's giving bar club arcade, but yay, how fun. Has other cool stuff like VR rooms and escape rooms, arcade and carnival games, fancy versions of carnival food, and a robot bartender. La Brea Tar Pits, it's an Ice Age fossil site in the middle of the city. They have everything from extinct mammoths to tiny plants. Hollywood Forever Cemetery, it's where a bunch of famous people are buried, like Toto the dog, his real name was Terry, and Vampira. They have a ton of fun movie night, and a Dia de los Muertos celebration that looks amazing. Good times at Davy Wayne's, you go in through a random refrigerator in a random alley, and then boom, you're in a club and everybody's doing the time warp. I'm pretty sure this is the DJ booth. Also, they have alcoholic snow cones. Thank you.
Oh my God, this lady knows everything about everything in Los Angeles. And what's crazy is I'm going to be in Los Angeles at some point And I may want to do some of these things, especially that financial district one. The guy with the statue is just hilarious. The speakeasies, I can get those anywhere. So I feel like once you've seen one, you've seen them all. They all play on the same thing, right? It's not what it appears to be. Ha! You got tricked. Now let's drink. But regardless, I loved almost everyone. The Beetlejuice Museum. Oh, dude, that looks pretty interesting. I don't eat beef, but I'm sure they have other options. But Edward Scissorhands steak, damn, that looked very convincing there. So yeah, I definitely would say this is a quite interesting recommendation of places. They definitely have an appeal of weirdness to them. So yeah, guys, if you're into creepy and weird, make sure you smoke that like button and make sure you subscribe. We're trying to grow the Goon Gang, and the only way we can do that is by you hitting that subscribe. So guys, I will catch you next time. Stay safe, stay strong. Goodbye.